else could it be than tablet players?
Of
I mean,
course.
I'm
With
the
sound,
one always
right? With
saying you have to
sound.
attack on tablet. But we have so many great attackers among the best in the world that play on the phone as well. I don't know. I don't think that Gandalf is one of them, but he is coming in with the first attack here for Aphelion Esports, and this is going to be a hero dive Lalo attack once more, and he's sending in the Queen solo for the Town Hall, but already putting her into a lot of damage, and I think he's going to have to use an invisibility spell here soon.
Yeah, the Queen is in a lot of damage, and that's always this problem. Sui Lalo is so strong, but it's somewhat predictable a lot for those top base builders, and I feel like you really caught them off guard, but that's at the same time where those amazing, like this amount of spells is coming in, where you can really try to adapt with invisibility spells, freezes, skeleton spell, rages, whatever you need. You have all of them in your army, and that's exactly what he's doing, trying to push the king in, but wait! The king is not going for the eagle, he's running around, and this means the eagle might be left standing, and his entire plan, the pathing, is messed up.
Yes, absolutely. No idea if this king is going to get the value he intended, though, Itsu.
Yeah, I feel like with that eagle and the Roy champion most likely on the menu in that top compartment, this was definitely not the way where he was hoping that his king would go, but he's now trying to adapt with sending in the slammer into that compartment, but we have to make sure that this sweeper is not denying that value of the slammer, but so far it's looking great. There's the headhunters coming in, but the ground expo is taking them out. The defending Royal Champ is going down. That is huge. Another rage is getting used. But this core is looking really, really dangerous. There's a lot of red mines coming up, and loons are dying left and right. This is looking like a big problem.
Yeah, the solo Dragon Rider there in the core can do a little bit more, but I don't think it can do enough there. The scatter shot looks so tough there, and it's not going to be enough for Gandalf. So close. I mean, there are just a couple of buildings. Maybe if this Dragon Rider would have gotten the scatter shot down a little earlier, this could have had a chance, but unfortunately he is falling short, and so this is going to be the first 2-star of the war.
Yeah, the first defense. We have talked about that defense is a really important thing for those two teams, because they are typically not the teams who are getting like the craziest number of scores. They are around about this 13 score on average, a little bit higher, but this means they need to get their defenses in as well, because if you take a look at, for example, Space Station, who like averaging above 14 stars in all of their matches, they can as well then get a little bit more stars on defense. But I feel like for those two teams, the defense is a really important thing on the menu for them, for the game plan. And so far, for Martial's Kiss, it has paid off. Anti-3-star has worked, and Aphelion Esports starting with the 2nd star in their first attack.
Yeah, so I talked about how maybe Aphelion, because of Alfonso and Mark, their base builder, have a good recipe against Martial's Kiss's offense. It started exactly the other way around. Martial's Kiss finding the exact right way to hold Aphelion Esports back. But we also have to always emphasize how tough it is to do the first attack, and that's what Gandalf just did. So the lowest amount of time to plan your attack out. But this is looking very interesting. We see a anti-2-star base, and it's like a box style base, but with the town hall in the center. So very interesting here, the base from Alfonso, and we're going to have to see what Patolino can do against it as he's coming in with another hero dive Lalo attack.
Yeah, Patolino, please 3-star this base. I do not want to face this in Legends. Like, as soon as a base is defending, it's getting copied everywhere. But if the base is 3-star, no one copies it. So that's a great thing. So please 3-star this base so we do not see it everywhere. For now, as I said, he's diving in, and he is having the wall wrecker selected. So maybe something to dive through the eagle, through the multi-inferno tower, into that town hall to take it down. And that's exactly what is happening with that queen, with that king, with this huge dive pushing in. So the question now is, Maxi, is he going to get the value?
I think he is. I mean, look at this wall wrecker. It's basically full life and making its way to the center of the base. And now the only thing that can do damage coming out of the CC are the headhunters, but they will go to the heroes because that is what their job is. So this wall wrecker is getting closer and closer to the town hall, and then there is nothing else that it can face. And I am sure that he has the exact right troops in there to take it out. But Itsu, traps, tornado, bombs, can they stop it?
There's the question. The sneaky goblins out there as well. The tunnel is losing HP through them, so that's always the magic trick which those pros are using. It always looks like magic because you cannot really see those goblins, and the tunnel is just losing hit points from it. It looks like nothing, but there is the sneaky goblins taking the tunnel down nicely, and while the loons are reaching that area, well, the poison of the tunnel already running off, but those defending lava pups and skeletons are dealing huge amount of damage, and this Scattermax is staying alive.
Yes, this scatter, other than that, it's looking very, very good, but also the enemy queen, he's got nothing there, even the owl is not grabbing the enemy queen now. He's making the balloons invisible. I mean, I think he still has hope. I can't see the hit points of the scatter shot, but maybe it is low as well. But this queen, oh my god! The queen platform. If the loon would have fallen on the queen platform, maybe he would have had a chance. But this, I don't think these troops can have a chance to make it, actually. I mean, sometimes, you know, troops can very luckily, randomly go to a building from different directions at the same time and tank for each other. But in this case, it's not going to happen with the queen still up, with the scatter still up. And the last couple of archers and minions are going to be taken care of by her. Oh, got another percentage point. So a good and a valuable archer there. And it was worth the wait for Patolino getting another percentage point. But in the end, it's not a triple, but they are in front. And we've seen it in the last streamed war. In the end, this can be decisive to get the percentage advantage in the attack where you have the same amount of stars. So we have to see how it unfolds, but a lot of attacks yet to come, and also the first 3-star yet to come.
That's right. So far, no 3-stars whatsoever in our match, but a 7% lead on the percent level for the team. But the thing right now is that you have played in this meta in the last year. I would say it's pretty much similar to last year. Where would you give the advantage right now when it comes down to the attacking order? I feel like some teams really prefer at the moment, if you're like one of those high-hitting teams, being in the first attack position. Some teams say, hey, we are not always getting those 14, 15 stars. The second attack position is nicer because then we can react with the last attack. What would you say right now is giving the teams the lead or maybe an edge in this meta?
A very good question. As we see another skeleton donut, we've seen it in the first one as well, executed perfectly. Let's see if Alfonso can make it work as well. But this is always so exciting, so that's why I will. Okay, I'm calm enough to answer your question now, as Alfonso has successfully executed the Skelly donut. I think that attacking second is still an advantage because you get 4 more minutes to plan your first attack. That is a lot of time more when it comes to this level of the competition. And then also, as you said before, you can react. So if you need a safe 2-star at the end of the attack, it is better to know exactly what you have to get. So in my opinion, attacking second is definitely better, and that is also why the teams in the first matches, the teams coming from the lower bracket had to attack first, because I think most of the teams think that it is a disadvantage to attack first. But yeah, Alfonso coming in with his hero dive once again, and after the Skelly donut worked, he didn't have to deal with the enemy clan castle troops, and this looked very nice. But in these Dragon Rider attacks, we always have to keep an eye on the timer as well.
Yeah, Lalo tends to be a little bit quicker, but so far it looks good. He's now sending a separate Dragon Rider in from the far left side because he's trying to somehow get rid of the sweeper, or at least distract it. This Dragon Rider is genius, distracting the sweeper so his main Dragon Rider force can push in. The warden ability covering for all of those headhunters, and with that he's pushing through this quick because this sweeper is not doing anything. Keep pushing versus this one single Dragon Rider, which is not doing anything. and now the Dragon Rider is trying to overwhelm the backhand of this base, Maxi.
Yeah, but the traps are looking so good so far. Whenever I'm watching a troop barely taking a defense down, a red mine or a seeking air mine comes up, and we see that the single and the multi-inferno as well as the Tesla farm are left standing. And even though Alfonso managed to get the Skelly Donut done, managed to get a good value off his hero dive, this seems to be falling short, Itsu. And
yeah,
that
we
just
know that
usually means that the base building was good, that the trap placement was good.
Yeah, it seems like he hit a lot of traps with those Dragon Riders, and we know the Dragon Riders got nerfed quite a bit, so I feel like as a main force, without maybe something like a Queen Walk, it feels sometimes really underwhelming if you compare to some other strategies, but it's just so much easier and less less dependent on mistakes. Like, for example, Lalo, if you do not pay attention for 1 second, this defending scatter shot is hitting your entire group of loons. This is oftentimes a big problem, but this means it's another defense, and we are still waiting for our first 3-star in this matchup, which might be a big surprise. But I think we can take a look at a couple of other results as well at the same time, have them open on the other screen. And I mean, no big surprise, but Space Station right now in the lead versus SG to Stella. They have 3 stars on their own side, 5 stars against them, which means they have already this one defense, which is so important. But I think the match we're all looking towards is Reported versus Queen Walkers. Reported has so far 2 stars, only 1 attack, but Queen Walkers have 2 attacks and overall 6 stars, so they are in the lead over there. So those are like the other 2 matches to watch. I will keep you guys up to date, but Maxi, what do you make out of that?
Yeah, that just means that in the other wars we are seeing actual 3-star attacks, and in this war so far we don't. But that usually that doesn't necessarily mean that the attacker did a bad job. I mean, we didn't see many execution mistakes here from Alfonso, I think, but usually it means that the base building was just very good, and that's exactly what we talked about before this war started. And here we have another anti-2-star base, but you know, it's interesting because these anti-2-star bases, they are not classical ring bases. They are something different. Like this one is a rather diamond-shaped base, but with the town hall in the core. And before we saw also a box base with the town hall in the core. So very interesting base designs here by Aphelion. And Hugo Stieglitz, he is known for his queen charges, so I'm going to be very excited to see if he can get his queen into the core of the base. But queen ability forced early here, Itsu.
That's right, and he really needs to get back his confidence because he had a 64% 2-star in their match versus Reported earlier. So he really needs to make sure that he's getting that out of his head, going into this one as a fresh attack, but losing his queen ability early, especially charging versus 4 ground expos, is a big deal. He still has 2 more rages which he can use, but there's a lot of damage and still a lot of base left to Lalo, especially considering that there's 2 scatter shots still left, which is like one of the biggest enemies when it comes down to Lalo, and getting through all of that, Maxi.
Yeah, absolutely. But the queen, I mean, she will have to deal with the single target Inferno soon, so he has to keep an eye on her as well. But the Slammer has actually a very good value, and especially because he lost the queen ability early on, it's now even more important to be very careful about the spells for his queen. And I think he needs to freeze soon, and he doesn't. So the queen is dead. That's it for the queen charge, but we have seen Bernal save a queen charge Lalo last week with a perfect Lalo there, and we have to see if Hugo is able to do that as well now. And I think it's looking good as a huge force of balloons is coming into the end of this base.
Yeah, that looked just incredible. Have you seen that Warden ability covering versus every single red mine in existence? That was an incredible Warden ability to protect all of those loons, triggering every red mine in this base. And this means it's only about cleaning up the first 3-star in this match. And we see it from Hugo Stieglitz, from Martial's Kiss. Wonderful attack. And this means Badzinger is in the lead, not only in percentage, but as well on the star level. And this is something they're happy about, especially they have, as I said, the better attack position as attacking second and they have the star lead, I think at this point everything is in their own hands, which is easier said than done. But in theory, they have everything in their hands.
Yes, it's looking good for them, and also Hugo has found his confidence back, I guess, with this attack, which was like in the end an extreme overkill, and that just means that his base identification was on point, because he used, or maybe lost, I'm not even sure if it was forced or if he used it on purpose, but at least he the queen ability was gone very early in the attack. He also used a jump spell with the queen charge, and that is always a huge investment to use 2 troops space to get your queen into the core of the base. And then also she died after taking out the town hall. So that just means that he got the exact correct amount of value that he needed and could then finish it off easily with the Lalo. And yeah, that was a very nice showing by him. But Itsu, we are seeing the first Queen Charger hybrid attack on stream today. And I know that this is one of your favorite attack strategies of all time. So tell us what Morioka is doing here.
Yeah, Morioka actually one of the best Queen Charge hybrid attackers from like out of Germany. He's really solid pushing that with that as well in Legends. And we can always see that people really counting on, okay, Queen Charge for the Town Hall, hybrid on the flank, whatever, YOLO, go in there. Well, nowadays, Queen Charge hybrid has changed a lot with doing Queen Charges from the other side of the Town Hall to try to avoid some traps, try to Queen Charge the side where the spring traps are. And this is exactly what he's trying to accomplish, but he needs to be careful. He doesn't want to lose the Queen ability early, because the Warden is going to come soon, the Clan Castle is going to be lured as well soon, and then the hybrid is going to be sent in from that multi-Inferno Tower compartment to make sure that the Queen is protected and staying safe. But right now, there's a lot of multitasking going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And so far, I have to say, this is a beautiful execution by Morioka, but now a lot of damage on the queen. He's going to use the queen ability soon, I think. There it goes. But still okay, because the queen has done a good job taking out the eagle and funneling. And his king and his siege barrack troops are also keeping the hybrid in the center of the base. But most importantly, Itsu, we have to see if when he can get the town hall. And I think this can either be done by the king or by his hybrid troops, because the king still has his ability.
Yeah, this is looking quite solid. If the hybrid is not splitting too much, the queen now
look at this wall break.
Get forced into the scatter. Yeah, the wall break is amazing to get the queen into the back end. Warden ability protecting everything. This charge is looking incredible, and this is exactly why Queen Charge hybrid is so strong with those Town Hall 4 charges. I think we have barely seen any Hawk Rider flying away, and this is because he has chosen this unusual opening with going from the Town Hall 4 side, and the defender has not predicted this one, and all of the spring traps were on the wrong side. He's going to finish this off, and this is the first 3-star as well for Aphelion, which means it's going to be the first 3-star in this match from the Aphelion side from Morioka.
Yeah, not gonna lie, this was a very clean attack by Morioka. I really liked it. Like, pretty much perfect execution, if you ask me. He did a perfect job there with the invisibility spell at the start. It wasn't, maybe the queen would have gone the right way, but you're always rather safe than sorry there. So good usage of that to make sure the queen gets into the eagle compartment. The timing was perfect. He started the hybrid and the funnel with the king and the siege barracks just as the queen was about to lure out the clan castle troops, because you want to take them out with the queen. And he also used his queen ability. It wasn't forced, and that is very important, because if the headhunters from the CC get to your queen, if the healers are pushed away from the sweeper and the warden is on your queen, and that was exactly the situation for him, then she might as well die in the ability, because she might use the ability while the warden already started a shot, and since the warden tower does so much damage, she can die. So he knew that, and he used the queen ability preemptively to make sure that doesn't happen. And then the back end wall break, I mean, that was just beautiful to lead the queen into the scatter shot, and yeah, in the end, very, very nice way to get the first 3-star for them, and we have an open match at hand.
That's right. Now the question is, does Marshall Kiss get the next 3-star, and we are going to see a Blizzard Lalo, it seems like. Or at least, is it maybe going to be a super minion? No, we do not have a clone, so it should be a Blizzard. On those ring bases, this can be incredible powerful, but it's well risky, because if you do not get the value you're looking for, this can turn bad really quickly. So we're going to see maybe a Warden Blimp, a Warden Aura Blimp, and that seems to be exactly that. With the Blimp coming in, with the Warden ability, and this means this Town Hall should go down if there's no Tornado Trap.
Yes, but so far it's looking good. Oh, the Scatter got a shot off, but I think it was all in time. So now it's all about the timing of the invisibility spells, but this is looking good. And what I also like is that this Warden, for now, is just staying alive. It is there at the top side with the Queen, just shooting building after building and singing staying alive, no. I guess. Unfortunately, it went to the wrong way. It would have been perfect if the Warden could have been lured by the Queen and to help with the hero dive here. But can they get... the Owl doesn't even get the ground targeting expo. That would have been nice to protect the Royal Champion later on in the attack. But now we have to see how much value his hero dive can get Itsu, because I'm sure that Jose is aiming for that scatter shot inside of the base.
Yeah, this is for sure his goal with trying to push now all of those heroes into that side of the base. He's not bringing a second wall break to maybe open the base any further. He's relying on that Queen taking the openings in the base. And if you're wondering, why are those openings? I mean, he can save the wall breakers now, right? Well, the thing is that those openings make the attack a bit more random where those troops are going, and this is one of the best defensive powers right now for base builders. Make the attack a bit more random with how and where those troops are going. Now he's starting off with the Lalo from this bottom side, straight into the Eagle, but he has to worry about the defending Royal Champion.
Well, we can never forget that he used the Warden ability already, so he cannot protect his balloons from red mines, for example. But I have to say, this is looking rock solid. 2 spells still at hand, Queen ability still at hand, and a lot of lava loon troops as well. I think it is too late to jinx this attack. This was a beautiful base identification, a great job by Jose. He started the Lalo early to make sure that the Lalo and the heroes are tanking for each other. So this symbiotic approach that we always love to see about the Blizzard Lalo attack, perfectly showcased here by Jose. And that was a very, very convincing triple, right?
Yeah, that was a huge overkill. So again, we have the lead still for Marshall's Kiss in this one. Let's take a look though at some of the other matches that are happening at the same time. As always, we have one of the main matches to watch: Space Station versus SG Tristella. It's 9-8 in the lead for Space Station. They're still perfect. Oh. Can they even fail? Close. Who knows? They are just incredible. Because the fail of S3 Tristella was 84%, so quite a low percentage, which gives them a lead, even if they're going to go in with the second star in the next attack. Then Repotted versus Queen Walkers, same result, but this time we have Repotted with 8 stars and 9 stars for Queen Walkers. The fail on the Repotted side were 86%, so below the 90% mark as well. So overall, still quite close, but the lead for on Queen Walkers and Space Station. And that would be a huge surprise. Seeing Repotted drop down so early, that is a big surprise. But yeah, we have the next attack on the board, and oh my god, I love those attacks. It's going to be a lock launcher Sui Lalo attack with the hero dive with the lock launcher together. It looks always so satisfying because this push, if it's getting all of the value, this looks overpowering. If it does not get the value, then that's where the problem starts.
Yes, I think the problem might have already started with his Queen being targeted by 3 defenses there at the same time, and she will be targeted by the cannon and the mortar now, and he is using the Queen ability right away. He probably should have invested at least a giant or a super ice golem there. But he didn't. He was maybe too greedy, so I'm not sure. And now the Queen is even stepping into the ground for rage and not going out of there. And this is something you never want to see in a hero dive, losing your Queen, and especially your Queen ability early on.
And the Royal Champ going.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know, he deployed the Royal Champ where the Queen was, right? Do you think he wanted to have the Royal Champion going to the left for the Eagle? Or do you think he wanted to have the Royal Champ going towards the Town Hall? Because I think the Town Hall was planned, right? Like the Town Hall was supposed to go down from this hero push.
Yeah, so I think that originally he wanted his Royal Champion for the Eagle. But then when his queen died early, he tried to send the royal champion with the king, but failed to do that. Or maybe the king just took out the defense that would otherwise have lured the royal champion there, and then the royal champion went the wrong way. So that's
Look
how
at
it
the
looked
giant
to me,
bombs at the
because he
top as
deployed.
well.
Yeah.
There were 6 giant bombs in that compartment. Crazy, but the Lalo is about to get into that town hall. Freezes in, Warden is following. So this means with the Warden abilities, at least protecting those loons, but the Tornado Trap is triggered as well.
Yeah, and the Tornado Trap keeping the balloons inside the Town Hall Poison is always so devastating to watch, and they can barely get out there, but Camille, unlike I think it was Klaus before, doesn't have a heal spell here. But honestly, this attack is getting so close, even though it went completely not according to plan. But of course, he didn't have anything for the Royal Champion now with the Headhunters dying there early on. But look at that. There's just the Scatter Shot and the Multi-Inferno, basically. Other than that, no back threats to a Lalo. So I think he reacted very well here, but still not what Aphelion needed at this point. They are already a start back, so they really needed a 3-star here to put pressure on Marshall's Kiss. It's funny enough, Marshall's Kiss still has the Badzinger logo here on the right side. Very, very funny. But yeah, if Badzinger now managed to get two stars with high percentage, they already have the win secured.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good for them indeed, especially with how their attacks look like. Like, this one fail was a really close one, was like a 97% 2-star, and the other 2 attacks were crazy overkills. Like, they have really taken down those ring bases really nicely from Aphelion so far. The ring bases have worked great versus GS earlier in the day with defending on 11 stars. But now this is not working at all versus Marshall's Kids and their players. They're really wrecking those spaces. So I'm really looking forward to see what their next approach looks like. So far they have used Queen Charge Lalo. They have used the Blizzard Lalo to really nice usage with the Warden ability, with the Blimp together combined. That was really nice to watch. And I think we're going to jump into the next attack really soon, so I cannot wait to see what the strategy of choice is going to be. If it's going to be keep being a Lalo, or if they're going to switch things up to maybe a different strategy versus those maybe ring bases. Maybe some, super bowlers are working great. Electric Dragons can work great as well, so there's a lot of troops, a lot of possibilities they can go for.
Yeah, a lot of possibilities for sure. And if teams have been practicing on ring bases or anti-2-star bases, they will know those approaches. And it seemed to me that the team had been working on approaching these bases with the jump Queen Charge Lalo that Hugo did, for example. It's a typical approach. And also with the hero dive with the wall wrecker towards the town hall, a rather creative approach, but also an approach that we have regularly seen used on these types of bases. But now a couple of strategies still missing, so let's see how versatile they have been in their practicing sessions. Here we go, and it is in fact another Queen Charge Lalo, but interestingly so, Itsu, without the jump spell this time, but we see open walls again, so very excited to see if Dima knows his queen well enough, or if Camille's base, that is most likely going built by Mark, has the perfect open wall segments to mess up the queen pathing.
Yeah, that's the big question, and interesting enough, he really used those regular wall breakers, which I always feel like is fascinating to see, because we barely see those nowadays after the introduction of the super wall breakers. But with the Ram now coming in, the Ram designed to take down the Multi-Inferno Tower, designed to take down the channel with those sneaky goblins, the Queen is only supposed to walk around this far right side to take down the Scatter at some point, to take down the defending Queen, and then as soon as she's in range, lure out the Clan Cousin, just move on and never even get close to that Town Hall.
That is such an interesting attack, but I'm not sure about this queen pathing now. Where will she go? I think she steps outside because the invisibility spell that Dima used was a little too early, but I think he still can send the Royal Champion to the Scatter Shot if he wants. But what about this Multi-Inferno? How did the Multi-Inferno stay up there?
Yeah, I think the wall right here opened a little bit too early for him, and this meant that the Inferno Tower stayed alive. He even raged the Sneaky Goblins. I'm not sure if he had to use that, but this means 1 rage less for his Queen, so he had to use the Queen ability by now. No more rages for this army, but he has 3 freezes, 1 haste left to push through the back, and Warning ability used, but he's not covering for this Lava Hound, which means the Lava Hound going down early. And there's still the Tessa Farmer, there's still the multi-Inferno Tower left. And this attacking Queen is going everywhere, but not where she's supposed to.
Yes, and the Headhunters, he used a couple of Headhunters to support his Queen and Royal Champion against the enemy King, and forgot to send the Headhunters against the enemy Queen. And Itsu, he doesn't have enough balloons to finish this as a 3-star, I am sure here, with this multi-Inferno at the bottom side, and a lot of air targeting defenses around that. I mean, he still has healers, but honestly, I don't think this can ever work still. I mean, if the Queen would have survived, she could have easily taken out these buildings there at the bottom side. But now, I think his troops are thinning out more and more.
Yeah, his troops are thinning out quite a bit. And even though the Owl is trying its best to somehow finish off this base, but with the Bitter Hut, it's just not working. And this means this is an important defense for Aphelion, even though it's, at this point, really hard to come back, but it's still possible. I mean, another great defense maybe, and they have still a chance, but they need to 3-star now their last attack to somehow make this miracle possible, because this one isn't good. Oh, the bid out is going down, nice. So it's going to be 89%, but still a solid defense below the 90% mark. 3-star from Aphelion, and Badzinger has to get a decent percent at least in their attack, which can always go wrong. We have seen those often.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait for the next attack to start. Then we will see the stats on the right side of the screen again. And then we will know exactly what the percentage is looking like. But 89 was still solid percentage. And as I said before, if they get high percent 2-stars, they will win. But 89 is just a solid percentage, not a high percentage. So maybe another 89 and they are all tied up. It is at least that close. And also Aphelion know that. So they know that they can put pressure onto Marshall's Kiss with another 3-star. So they're going to give it their all in the next attack. Because honestly, whoever wins this one is very, very, very close to getting to the next round. Because 2-0 here means you would have to win just 1 out of the following 4 matches to move on. 3 matches.
Yeah, that's okay, right. And we see again.
Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, we see again one of those lock launcher dives, which are always so satisfying to watch. We see this time the Golem with the Queen combined to push into the scatter. We see the King then combined with the lock launcher into the core, into the multi. And this so far looks really solid if the Queen is going in as intended. Because right now, this Golem, oh my god, it's taking a lot of damage right now. And this is not looking good for the Golem. So the question is he going to get that defending Queen with his own Queen?
Yeah, he might have to invest a free spell here shortly. I don't know. So far, he's holding on. But, oh, I think the King can even take out the Queen. Look at that. This Queen is... this enemy Queen is all over the place.
What?
But the Yetis take out the enemy Queen with the help of the Barbarians, and his Queen is also still going strong. So is his Royal Champion. Itsu, I have to ask you the following question. Where is the base?
This is exactly what I kind of was hoping for with that last attack. Those attacks, they look so satisfying. Come on, like 60% of the base is already gone with just the heroes and the siege machine. This is just incredible. The Lava Hound is now getting used across the town hall to trigger any possible tornado trap around that town hall. But for now, it's not finding anything. The next Lava Hound is coming in, raising it up. Warn ability.
Ooh.
Was that warn ability too early? That's the big question. Did he throw this away? Because the town hall, it seems like, is not going down.
Yeah, usually you want to freeze the town hall before the loons approach it a lot of times, and then you can use the warden ability later on. But he still has a lot of balloons here. But the warden, oh my god. Heal spell, yes, but the warden tower, oh my god, don't tell me that this is not tripling. He even still has the queen ability. No way. Oh no.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think he has
He
the
went-
unicorn.
Yeah, but
No,
the
he has
warn.
not the unicorn anymore. I was thinking like maybe there's so many archers. Maybe this is somehow possible. Come on, archers, tank,
Oh, it
tank
is.
for your
It
queen.
might be.
Queen.
No way. No way.
Oh my
No
goodness.
way.
No, the arch tower. Rapid fire mode.
No. 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 No.
Oh
no.
my goodness. Oh my
No.
no.
Wow.
This is heartbreaking. But yeah, I mean, we have to say it as it is. He was kind of throwing this away. I mean, the freeze
Yeah.
onto the tower early. That